We actually have Sulfa Chord for you today. That's not something that you hear all that much. Dogmatika ritual good stuff, and really some other little interesting things happening with the OCG. Hey guys, smash the crap out of that subscribe button, and we still have the Age of Overlords girls, SP Little Knight, India Bellstar, Double Field Center bundle. I'll leave a link down below so you can grab yours today. So what in the world is going on with the OCG in terms of some of the fun little ideas that we've been seeing out here? Well, this is basically a Sulfa Chord, Pendulum Magician, Supreme King access, all the little crazy innovation lines that you might not normally think would be something that you would be trying to do out here. Most of the combo lines that you get out here with the Pendulum good stuff is, to speed up through, Electromite, the Beyond, and then go into the Exceed Pendulum and then start setting up for the relatively easier boards. And as you can see, yeah, hello Zark, you're one of the many little cool interactions that we now get with this. Also, the Light-Winged Dragon. This card is actually amazing. Just adding a Supreme King Dragon or a Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. And then, if you control the Zark, you can special summon it instead. But hey, getting access to, well, you can search for the Magician, or, our newly limited to Darkworm here. You can also do some sub things with this, but I don't really care too much about the little interactions with this. Also, getting access to, hello Diviner of the Heralds, all of this stuff being fairy also does kind of matter a little bit in the sense of this. And of course, you do get to play Thrice Harakiri in here as well. Honestly, I like how this build wants to combo up. A lot of the ideas and things that you might not really be considering, in terms of the explosive combo ability of Pendulums. Honestly, I think Pendulums feel like they've been nerfed a lot more throughout the years, but with the OCG still having the full combo potential of this build, and you're now getting a chance to see some of the little fairy interactions built into this, maybe this is something that might actually be worth giving some consideration to playing. I don't know. Next up here, we have Dogmatika. Now, for all intents and purposes, the entire deck usually revolves around two stages of things here, which is usually slamming down Albazoa and proceeding to laugh at your opponent, and then using the extra deck ripping capabilities of Mr. Dogmatika Maximus here to punish the opponent. Now, I do see that we do have something a little bit cute going on with this build. We are playing a one-off Fallen of Albaz in here in case, you need to make Titaniclad, or if you need to make a Mere Jade in here as well. It's not really something that I've seen a lot of people tend to do, but most of the lines of play are drop down Herald, yeet this, proceed to get to, whichever part of your ritual toolbox that you need to do. And then, of course, the Dogmatrix is probably one of the solid best cards that you could have in this deck. I also see that we are main decking a Raigeki in here as well. So having some sort of board wipe push on the opponent, because, sometimes when you start to see these very big, scary boards that tend to not want to let you have very much fun, you have to find ways to kind of clean that up. And that's one thing that, this can actually give to you. Outside of that, you don't get a lot of crazy, deck building with this, because the entire focus is getting out Albazoa. But outside of that, value for Nexus. If you're actually dropping Nexus on your opponent, I gotta clap for you, because it doesn't actually, it shouldn't actually happen. But you know what? With a Maximus dropping out certain resources, it is possible to actually see this card come on down. A big 3,200. I still can't believe this card actually exists. Like, for how bad that this card originally seemed, it is a little bit hit or miss. So, cool stuff. Next up here, we have the Bellstar package built into our beautiful Fire King decks. Once again, this is a level 1. If you are not actually thinking that the Bellstar package is something that you're not going to play in this deck, think again. Because why would you not want to play, another Infinite Search package to get to the Ponix, alright? Ponix is the deck, alright? This is the thing that allows this deck to actually function. Now, one interesting little tech choice here is we are playing the Fencing Fire Ferret. Remember, if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target one face of monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, and if you do inflict 500 damage to your opponent. This does technically work as a disruptor for time, because you're pinging your opponent for 500 life. As stupid as that actually is, yes, it does actually happen. Remember, the whole big focus of this deck is you're going to try to exceed summon out the big chicken during your opponent's turn and then attempt to, start clearing up their resources. Is it fun and consistent? It definitely gets the job done. And of course, this deck does get to do Scythe Lock. I also see that we are playing the Flame Tongue, the Blazing Magical Blade in here as well. You get some pretty good, decent generic support in here. And this also, face-up spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Yes, that does protect the Fire King Island. It does protect the Sanctuary here. And it also basically makes sure that you're able to set up and play the game, which is, I think, by far the most important thing as of late. All right, what else we got going on back here? Centurion. Centurion has turned into a very, very popular deck in the OCG. They absolutely love what this deck can do because basically Crimson Dragon turns into turn skip, or you can actually make the Cosmo Blazar Dragon over here. Mr. Cosmic Blazar. When it activates a card effect, negate that activation if you do destroy that card. Alright, and then remember, this thing banishes itself to apply an effect. When your opponent with special monsters, negate that summon if you destroy that card. Or when your opponent's monster declares an attack, negate that attack and end the battle phase. For 4,000, that tends to do a lot. Typically, turn skip, depending on the situation, you make this, but both of those monsters should be putting you into a position that you should be relatively strong on. And of course, we are playing the Horus package in here as well. Gotta love the fact that the Horus stuff is just, oh hey, this plus a level 4 tuner. Well, all of a sudden, now you've got Legatia set up, and you're able to go into the Crimson Dragon all that much easier, alright? They're just consistent stepping stones that help make the deck a lot better. And of course, we are playing one copy Phalanx. Don't actually tend to see that all that much. And I also see that we are playing a Metalphos Fusion over here. The old classic discard, go ahead and regenerate it, draw a card. I can't tell you the amount of times that I could brick on this card, but it's definitely good. And I see that we are playing a Splash Resonator package in here as well. Interesting. Okay, what else we got back here? Okay, so you automatically see a difference in the Centurion builds here. Holy moly, we're cutting off a little bit more of the fat. And then I see we are playing a copy of Regulus. Okay. To be fair, getting the ability to bring up Emmett up here is kind of interesting, especially, for the free rolling negate with this. You do still see the Crimson Dragon play to go into the Calamity or the Cosmic Blazar. One other thing I do want to mention about this here is this proves that you don't have to bulk down on playing multiple King Calamities with these builds. No, you play the one and you can splash through the rest of your extra deck honestly as you need to. It's not really a bad thing here. This build playing the Super Poly to disrupt the opponent. I see we're also playing Secret Village in here as well. Oh yeah, Primera is a spellcaster. Though the big guy is a machine, if you do special this up and you set up, congratulations, you now have a Secret Village lock on your opponent. You know how frustrated your opponent's going to be just knowing that they just got pseudo locked? I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be a fun time for anybody. So that's a cute little interaction that you actually get with this. But between the two builds, a lot of different options in terms of how you want to build. And I actually think that that's a pretty good thing. All right, and our last list here is Labyrinth. Now, the reason why I showcase this is the first time that I have seen the Labyrinth Buller in about a month, actually. Now, remember, this is the one that gives you the turn 0 Labyrinth plays. Everybody crapped the bed. We were all like, this card is the craziest thing to actually happen to Yu-Gi-Oh! It has been the biggest flop to happen in terms of competitive deck building in a very long time. While the card is absolutely splendid for what it does, most Labyrinth builds just opted to cut it because Transaction Rollback is just a much more insane card. All right, everything that you want to do, you can just do a little bit later with Transaction Rollback. Steamroll your opponent with all the advantage that this stupid card gives you. It's also very interesting to see This is the first build only play in 2 transaction rollback. Almost every other list up to this point has been focusing on 3 of this, because the card is just that nuts. Outside of that, this Labyrinth list feels a little bit more standard. You do see Mudora and Keldo being some shuffleback factors to actually kind of help the deck, also on the control aspect as well if the opponent's doing anything. But that is everything that we have for today. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.